I'm Josh.
I'm Lisa.
And I'm Nemo. And we just nerd here.
It's not that bad.
Your voice is not cringy.
Yeah.
The laugh is cringy, though.
Okay, laugh for me.
I can't do it like that.
Yes, you can.
No.
You can.
No, I can't.
What if I tickle you?
With his beard.
With my beard.
I wouldn't let you near me.
You're 3 feet away.
I would scream as loud as I can.
You've had a drink and you're a little slow.
John Allen.
Yeah, John Allen's gonna come and save you.
Help me. Then you'll hear this like little snore. Like, I was like, I'm gonna die here.
All right. Well, that is Nemo. He's doing really well today. Welcome to We Just Nerd Here, episode number 2, or at least what we're calling episode 2 for now. The episode order may change once we post these, but this is the second one we've recorded. And we are back to Nerd Here with all of you. So today we're going to talk about summer blockbusters, or at least what we think are going to be good movies coming out over the next few months. We went and saw Ready Player One yesterday, which really, to me, kind of kicks off the big movie season.
Yeah, I can agree with you. I think it does a great job. I never read the book, but the movie was amazing.
It was everything that I hoped it would be.
I feel like even if you didn't understand everything, like even if you took out some of the major points, the movie still works. It flows really well.
Yeah, and the thing I really liked about the book was that it was like this riddle that he had to figure out, and watching the movie was a completely different riddle, and it was so fun because it was like you still got to
so it's like two
be as
different
invested
adventures, kind of.
Yeah, it's not like I just have to wait for him to figure out this one thing and then I'll know what's going to happen. Like I was still excited to be watching it.
Yeah, like me and Josh were talking about it a little right after the movie. The fact that they didn't put the cameos in there, but they kept the props from the original movie is what kind of brought me in. That's what I really wanted to see. And then, hell of a battle at the end.
Right? Like, I thought it was perfect. I loved all of the throwback references in the film to other movies, TV shows, products, like seeing the retro Doritos bags everywhere. Like, Doritos, props on your product placement in this one. You did well. Yeah, but I was really glad that they didn't have, like, Christopher Lloyd come in and play Doc Brown at some point in the film, at least in an overt way. I'm sure somewhere in the background there's an avatar that's a Doc Brown lookalike, if not actually Christopher Lloyd, doing a Star Wars-esque cameo.
Yeah, I think from what I noticed, it did look mostly like it was fans' interpretations of characters, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, I really liked that. I mean, spoiler warning, we are talking about a movie that just came out a few weeks ago, by the time you listen to this, it will have been a few weeks. We saw it yesterday, the day it came out, so. No,
like Lisa was saying, it gives you a lot more individuality, like other people's ideas and concepts of what they would have wished Doc Brown to look like, or what a Ranger to look like, or what Han Solo to look like, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because he kind of gave me that vibe that he was like Han Solo with a bell on the side, but it wasn't him, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was like cosplaying. It was like virtual cosplaying, basically.
Yeah. And that's where we're all headed. I mean, think about back in the day when MySpace was a thing. Nemo was still in diapers, I think.
Probably. I probably didn't know what a computer was. Was there a computer? No.
In 2003, MySpace? 2002?
Was that in 2000?
I was in high school.
They did invent computers before websites. I mean...
Okay, Lisa. You don't know that. There's no science behind that.
No, there is no science.
Everything came after me, so...
Oh, okay. That's weird. Yeah. I definitely have some vivid memories of my childhood.
It was all a simulation, Lisa.
Yeah, it was not real. Once I was born, everything came to life. and now you have your memories.
It is actually 2045, and you are just a creation of the Oasis. So,
Yeah.
welcome to your existential crisis.
Welcome to my world. Or Josh's.
It's mine.
It's Josh. Oh, no.
I was going to say, one of you could probably think me up a hot guy then, so...
I've got some
Get on
ideas. I'm going to go ahead and...
Donald Glover.
I'm going to pull on my Yenta hat and find you your perfect match. Both of you.
I want to find...
Nemo's still single, ladies, and he still enjoys pairs of things.
Okay.
No, but what's that little penguin dude from Hello Kitty?
Batsumaru.
Yeah, I'll bring up Batsumaru. Like, you know.
That's
For
that's
Lisa?
the hot guy you're
Batsumaru is
gonna
amazing!
You want Lisa to marry a Sanrio character?
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, fine. I was just... I thought it was kind of cool.
Like, okay, now I'm really questioning.
but,
After that trailer we saw yesterday, do you watch Minions porn? Just the one with the one eye, though?
No, it would have to be both. I couldn't do it with the one eye.
Okay.
That's too weird.
Okay, well, you know...
Why, how could one eye, like...
I'm not letting you use the computer by yourself. Okay? You just don't touch it. I don't want weird ads.
I'll just be right back, Josh. Gotta go use the restroom.
All right. So, yeah, Ready Player One was amazing. I loved it. It was everything I wanted it to be. The updates that they made to include properties that weren't around when the book was written. Overwatch cameos. Yeah. Michael Bay's Turtles. Say what you will about them. They're pretty decent popcorn flicks, especially if you don't mind the creepy design.
No, like you also get Halo Spartans, you get Gundam, you get Godzilla. Yeah. There's just so much in this movie.
Yeah.
That just, like, every point, there's something new that you can see, and it brings you in, and it brings you further in. It's like, you want to keep going. You want to keep seeing where this goes.
And, you know, the changes to the way the riddle is solved work really well on the screen. The way that they changed what they did from the book was for the betterment of the film adaptation.
Yeah, it worked better on a movie level.
Yeah, it's not one of those movies where, oh my god, it's not just like the book is a bad thing.
Yeah.
They did really well. And they've been working on a film adaptation of this book since before Ernest Cline finished writing it.
Dang.
Yeah.
No, I just don't think, like, if you were to make it... There are parts of the book that you guys told me about that I would want to see, like Ultraman.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. But I don't think you would be able to connect with the audience of today if it wasn't updated, like you said.
Yeah.
Right.
They wouldn't know what the characters were, or they wouldn't be able to get the same effect. Like that giant fight at the end.
Well, and they wouldn't have had time to give you the backstory investment stuff that they do in the book.
But I also think they were doing the whole thing that James Cameron did with Avatar, right? He had the story written when he was doing like Titanic or whatever, but he waited until technology got to that point where he can make the movie.
Do you know when this book came out?
I don't know when this book came out.
This book was released in 2011.
What?
Yeah. It's not that old.
So the James Halliday, the creator of the virtual world, the Oasis, co-creator, he's my age.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
Props to this man, then. That was an awesome story.
Yeah, so the whole thing's really great. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure by the time we release this, it'll still be in theaters. Go see it. Do yourself a favor. And if you haven't read the book, if you're like Nemo and you don't read, or...
Try to, people. It'll save you a lot.
He did buy all of the Harry Potter books to put on a shelf, so...
They look nice.
He overpaid for a nice set of quote-unquote vintage Harry Potter books
they weren't
to put
vintage.
on a shelf.
They weren't vintage.
I thought you bought the vintage adult covers from England.
They are the adult covers, but there are two different sets.
Okay.
But it's not like
you
vintage.
bought two sets.
2 sets?
No, I bought one set. The one I wanted, I couldn't get, so I settled with the other one.
Oh.
Okay.
I wouldn't need two.
You sure?
What would I do with two?
I kind of.
What would you do with two of most
one.
things? I have several different sets.
Yeah, I want the blue one with the paperback with where all of the books make a castle, and then there's a red one with a dragon. Yeah.
When I was a freshman in college, I went out and bought all of the Philosopher's Stone, and in this case, it was not Sorcerer's Stone, it was Philosopher's Stone. They were the English versions translated into Latin, Gaelic, Ancient Greek, and just to have them.
That's really cool.
I just wanted, like, the original one that J.K. Rowling actually wrote that wasn't changed to the American, for what Scholastics did. They took out a lot of the stuff and made it for this audience instead of her original words. Does that make sense? Because they were different.
The first one was different. After that, she
the
started
first one.
writing for an international audience.
So they didn't change it then? Because I read that...
Just the first one.
Oh, okay. I thought she did it for all... She wrote it her way, and then Scholastic was like, we're going to edit this out a little bit for our audience, instead of her having...
They thought that Philosopher's Stone wasn't going to sound exciting enough for a U.S. audience.
Because what 8-year-old knows what a philosopher is?
Okay.
At least.
Philosopher sounded too boring, even though Philosopher's Stone is like an actual mythological thing.
Okay. I just assumed that they did it for all of them. Oh. So I got the English version instead of the classic version.
I think that between at least Lisa and I, we could do probably 2 or 3 episodes on Harry Potter alone. So...
Probably.
Why don't we move on to our first pick for summer movies?
I've seen the movies, Josh. I could be a part of those episodes too.
Yeah, and we can
we're not saying you're not going to be here, but you're probably going to be silent most of the time or asking questions.
I'll probably ask questions.
Yeah. So, without further ado, with our first pick of the day, let's talk about Avengers: Infinity War. All right, so we saw the trailer yesterday when we were at the theater. I have been kind of avoiding trailers, not so much like on purpose. I'm just not seeking them out.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't want them, because like most of the time in all the trailers, you see some of the best parts in the movie, and then that's how they reel you in. Right. I'm already going to see it. I have to know how this ends, even though everybody knows how it ends.
Everybody thinks they know how it ends, okay? Everyone thinks Captain America's gonna die. Everyone thinks Vision's gonna rip an get his Infinity Stone ripped out of his forehead.
No, like, okay, if the movie's gonna be in 2 parts, they're gonna do the same thing that they do with any 2-part movie. They're gonna die in the first one, and then come back in the second one.
It's gonna be in 2 parts.
Yeah, so the first part is Infinity War, and originally the working title was Infinity War Part 1, and then Part 2 would come out next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've changed the name of Part 2, so it'll be Avengers, I don't know, Absolution or something.
Okay.
I think they should have just called it Part 2.
I don't know. It makes it a little more exciting.
Yeah, and it makes me feel better about there being so many people in it.
Yeah.
Without it, like, killing it.
Like, you see, everyone in those trailers... And it's fun. It's a fun mashup. Guardians of the Galaxy is, like my number 2 in all of the Marvel movies that have come out so far.
I'll agree.
Thor Ragnarok is by far the best one.
No, I'd have to say Guardians of the Galaxy would be my number 1. It felt like it was completely different than anything that Marvel's ever done. And a lot of people didn't even know who these characters were. I didn't know who they were. But after watching it, I just wanted to know more.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it. Everybody knew something about all the other characters, but this one was out of left field, and yet people were completely drawn to it. They loved it through the whole thing.
Yeah, and I think that goes a long way in saying what Feige can do with this property that he's been given, and the care that he takes in crafting and trying to keep a coherent storyline going through these films, the narrative structure of them all. Mm-hmm. I still haven't gotten to see Black Panther yet.
Oh,
same here.
It was so good, you guys.
Would you rank it in your top 3 too, or?
I think I would. Like, I feel like it was the most important movie that has been made this year.
Of this year, or just in the Marvel universe as well?
Of this year, of popular movies.
Okay.
Because, it was so strong. It showed really strong women and strong women in different ways than we're used to seeing them.
Okay.
And it really, I don't know, it has a bad guy who's really relatable. Like, you can see why he made all the bad choices that he did. And I don't know, it made me cry.
I like that.
So it makes you
much.
think about whether or not you're on the right side or the wrong side. And it makes you choose a little bit.
Well, not exactly that, but it's just like, oh, yeah.
You can see why this person's angry.
He's so angry, and he has so many reasons to be. It was really good.
Okay, no, I like that.
I was busy the day it came out. I was trying not to have my wife give birth on the side of the road and working my way to a hospital, so...
Priorities, Josh.
Yeah, come on. It's Marvel. You'll have a baby anytime.
I made a wrong choice, Nemo, okay?
I haven't seen it either, but...
Just because you were afraid of the baby and won't hold him?
No, it like squirmed in my hand. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, no, you hold this. You hold it. I'll just watch until it can walk, and then it'll be cool, because then it can talk to me.
It can talk to you now.
It just sleeps.
And cries. Those are his words.
Yeah.
Anyway, Avengers Infinity War, you've got everybody coming in. It's bringing in the Marvel Cosmic Universe into the Avengers universe that we know and love. I'm not holding my breath because of the sheer amount of characters in this movie, but I would love to see just an on-screen cameo by the Defenders from the Netflix series, or Coulson pop up just for a split second. I don't want them to have a big role to play, but it would be nice if Marvel could once again, like they tried to do in the beginning with their TV universe, tie it in a little bit. And I think this is a perfect way because those characters have never appeared on screen. And I don't think that the TV side of Marvel gets enough love.
Well, Coulson was on screen, so...
Coulson was on screen.
I think there's a good chance of him having a cameo.
Like, I know they're talking about bringing him back for Captain Marvel, which is set in the 90s.
Well, who's Coulson? Oh, Coulson, the Agent Coulson.
Agent Coulson.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, he died, and then they brought him back.
Exactly, and now he's on... I haven't kept up with S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm like 2 seasons behind. But, like, I think it's well done. And the cameos that they used to do are not even necessarily cameos, but the small tie-ins they would do with the larger Marvel universe. I appreciated those. I understand that not everyone is going to watch both, the show on ABC and then go see a movie, but they were small enough that it didn't matter. They were all throwaway, but it was nice to acknowledge.
But they all have a part of the story. Like, they give you clues and information.
Not so much anymore. Marvel has tried to draw a harder line between TV and film. Okay. Yes, technically it's the same universe.
Yeah.
So what happens in the films will affect the TV shows.
But not the other way around.
Not the other way around.
Yeah, it's more like a nod. Like, they might say something comes from Stark Industries on the show, but they're not going to talk about Tony Stark.
They're going to reference the incidents.
Okay.
Or what happened in Sokovia, like in Age of Ultron, or... Those will be addressed on TV. They'll have repercussions. But what happens on the TV shows doesn't necessarily reverberate up to the movies.
No, I get you. I guess that's a good thing to look out for. But for me, I'm just excited to see everybody finally being put together. The trailer did leave a lot of questions for me. Like, there were certain parts I was like, okay. Like the scene with Captain America and Thanos' arm. You see Thanos' face, the struggle. You see Doctor Who and... Doctor Who? Not Doctor Who. Doctor Strange.
And so we're using our fake names.
Our fake names now.
Extra
You
fake.
see him, and then you don't understand where this other character came from and what's happening. Like, again, I've never read the comics. I'm not that much invested into the Marvel scene, but it left, for somebody who's just, like, on the outside a little bit, it left a little questions that you want answered. You want to go see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, I'm also looking forward to seeing Stan Lee somewhere in this movie. I don't know how they're going to do it.
I hope that he has multiple roles. Like, I'd like to see him make more than one cameo in a film, just because it would be fun.
That would be so cool. Like, if you got all the different versions of him from all the Marvel movies.
Yeah,
like
Thor, I want a mailman. I want an announcer in a strip club from Deadpool. I just want to see...
Who was he in Guardians of the Galaxy?
In the first one, he was on the walking path.
Yeah.
And in the second one, I think he was in one of the bar scenes.
Oh yeah, he was the gambling part.
That's
where
right.
they were. Yeah, see, I want both of those versions there.
Yeah, and those would be harder since it's cosmic Stan Lee, but it would still be fun to like.
It'd be so cool if they all just met each other and was like, whoa.
If Marvel ever decides to explore the multiverse, I definitely want there to be a planet of nothing but Stan Lees.
But what about, isn't there also one in was it in Ragnarok, or where he's on an asteroid talking to the, no, that's Guardians of the Galaxy. Where he's talking to those beings about, he's in an astronaut suit.
Big head beings.
Yeah, that's when he's on the walking bridge.
Yeah.
Towards the beginning, when Quill is trying to sell stuff to
No, he's talking about
There's one where he's on an asteroid and he's in a full astronaut suit and he's talking to these beings and they're walking away. He's like, don't you want to hear the rest of the story? How am I getting home? Or
why don't I remember this?
I'm not sure if it's from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, it has to be Galaxies because you were introduced to them.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's the Guardians of the Galaxy. Too.
So why don't we... This will never happen. None of us has time. But I was going to say, let's watch every Marvel movie up through Phase 3 before we go see Avengers.
No, there are theaters that are doing that.
Should. Yeah, there are theaters.
There are theaters that are showing all of them before the movie.
Wait, are they doing Phase 1 and Phase 2?
Yeah, they're doing from the beginning to the end. You can watch it and then go see Infinity War.
You know what? When whatever they call Infinity War Part 2 comes out, maybe we should take some time off work and do that.
That's a lot.
Oh, come on. You don't want to...
I would do it. I would do it.
You don't want to sit in a theater with smelly people for 3 days watching movies that you've seen 5 times each?
If they let me bring in my own food, yes.
That's the thing,
I'm not paying them.
I've only seen most of these once, maybe twice.
Yeah, I've only seen Dark World 1 time.
Yeah, I only saw it once. The only movie that I watched multiple times is probably Guardians of the Galaxy. Because I own those ones. And Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, I can't say that about any of them. I've seen the first Iron Man 3 times. I think that's the only one I can say definitely that I've seen more than twice.
Well, I don't remember watching Iron Man multiple times. Or Iron Man 2. Or Iron Man 3.
You clearly don't have the same appreciation for RDJ that I do.
I love Robert Downey Jr. He is an amazing character. He's an amazing actor, but if Iron Man wouldn't have worked in 2008, whatever, when it came out, none of this would have existed.
That's definitely true.
They bet everything on that movie.
Yeah.
And the only reason that we have this is because of him and that role.
Yep, he is definitely the...
And Jon Favreau for making it.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a
being in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him being in all his films.
I love Happy Hogan. He's... I really loved... Iron Man Armored Adventures when it was on Nickelodeon, or I guess it was a Nicktoons exclusive, maybe.
Nope.
I don't know. That was my big, outside of the movie, that's what kind of drew me into the Marvel universe. Because I was never a Marvel kid. I was always Batman and Superman.
I never even, when I was a kid, I never remembered seeing actual Marvel animation. I always remember seeing DC, and that's what DC's really good at.
Yeah.
They're really good at their animation, and I love watching their animated movies.
Yes. And, what Paul Feige is to, Marvel, Bruce Timm is to DC. But, that's another episode. We could go on and on about DC's animated works. So, final thoughts on Infinity War?
I feel like it's a must-watch if you've been with the series from the beginning.
Yeah.
Even if you're not, even if you love even one of the characters, you gotta see how it ends. Agreed. I feel like you need to know how it ends. Just as a homage to your, character or something,
I'm just afraid. Bad things are gonna happen.
Bad things are gonna happen. People are gonna die. Contracts are expiring. So either recast or put them 6 feet under and then recast.
Because a lot of...
Make it worth it. Make it worth my while. If you're gonna kill an iconic character, make it a proper send-off. Don't just have them...
It's not even that for me. How with Logan, both of the actors loved their final performance so much, they were okay leaving it. I want something like that with every of the characters. If they're gonna leave, give it your all. Make it seem as if this was your role.
Right.
This was you.
100% with you.
That's what I want if you're gonna leave.
Someday I'll be ready to talk about Logan after some therapy.
I still haven't seen it.
No,
I'm sorry.
That one.
I haven't been ready.
The ending of Logan sent me into a full-blown panic attack.
I haven't been ready to see it.
It pulled at my heart.
There were moments there that it reminded me of my past. That I don't know. It's just it connects with you.
Ditto.
Like if you have
without spoiling anything about Logan, just know that the end of that film, if you haven't seen it, I know it's rated R, and some of our audience don't watch movies simply because they are rated R. Give it a shot. Give it a chance. There's so much heart in that film on top of the violence.
Yeah.
That I feel like it overshadows the violence.
It's their final performance. You owe it to yourself.
Yes,
to
Patrick
watch
Stewart gave his everything to that role in that film.
Hugh Jackman just blew it out of the water. Every other X-Men, every other movie that he did with this series didn't come close to this movie for me.
Up until I saw Logan, Patrick Stewart was always Picard. Just how people always associate Daniel Radcliffe with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Or,
I'm very
Hugh Jackman
with
with Wolverine.
I really like watching him in other things.
Yeah, he's really good in other things. They all are. But you always associate an actor with that one character.
Yeah.
Until Logan, he was always Picard. But now Patrick Stewart, I associate him with Xavier more than anything.
It's a suit that's really hard to wear, too.
It is.
Like, a lot of actors don't even continue roles because they don't want to wear that suit. It's hard to be recognized for anything else. Like, you could have won Oscars for amazing roles, but nobody's going to care. Because it's not like nobody's going to care, but people aren't going to recognize you for it. They're going to bring up what you've done in the past, like the number one thing that even got you started.
Right.
Like Robert Downey Jr., he does amazing movies, but when I see him, the first thing that pops in my head is Iron Man.
Oh, see, I've been in love with him since he was like 23, so...
Okay. Well, there
That's
we go.
very different for me.
Yeah. Robert, if you're listening, Lisa is looking. So
No, he's happily married, you guys.
You could work around that.
I respect boundaries.
All right.
What happens if he wanted to be your friend?
Then he's going to call us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hang. You can sit in this basement at this card table and be a guest on the show. Open invitation to any of the Avengers listening. Even you, Jeremy Renner. Especially you, Jeremy Renner. We appreciate Hawkeye.
You and your 7 arrows. He killed like 7 guys. That's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now with our next pick.
So the new Star Wars is coming out.
Episode 9?
No.
What? No.
It's Solo, Josh.
Oh, we're talking about Solo?
We're talking about Solo.
All right.
Which I have very mixed feelings over.
I did have mixed feelings until we watched the most current trailer, and now I'm hyped. But I'm still scared because of the actor that plays Han. I don't know him. I don't know any movies that he's done.
Roland Emmerich? Is that the guy?
I don't know.
I don't know him. I don't know who he is. And I think this is going to be an amazing movie, or it's going to be really, really bad.
I don't know.
The trailer made him look good. He actually acted like Solo would.
Yeah, I feel like he had. I feel like he had some swagger.
Yeah,
that
I got the vibe.
I don't necessarily think Han Solo would have had.
No, I think he got this Han Solo attitude.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't know. I thought I did feel that a little bit, but then there's that scene where he does the flying bit and he makes some glib comment, and it seemed just too glib for Han Solo.
Oh, when they're flying through the asteroid, when the TIE fighters are chasing them.
It's like we're out of the clear, and then all of a sudden the other
I knew that would work, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. I was super in love with Han Solo when I was a kid. So in love with Han Solo.
But now you're in love with Lando, so it's okay.
Well, I was always in love with Lando too. See, I mean, obviously I'm super sold on Donald Glover playing Lando Calrissian. I will watch Donald Glover play pretty much anything.
Would you watch him play Pong?
Yes.
Okay.
Play Pong, the game?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like he would do commentaries like, yeah, I got you. I was like, and then do his own little bits,
He might write a song about it. Who knows?
Yeah, he might rap while doing it.
Okay, so if Donald Glover ever does a Pong movie with Adam Sandler, you're going to watch it?
Oh, Adam Sandler's kind of a hard sell for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
if I maybe.
I really liked Pixels, which is, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that one.
I enjoyed parts of it. I haven't seen the whole thing, though.
I saw it, and no.
I watched it on, I don't know, on demand somewhere. It was a good, wasted afternoon.
The Peter dude was pretty good, but...
Peter Dinklage?
Pinker
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
You do this every time you try to say his name.
The Peter dude.
He
was pretty good. Other than that, I think Sandler's I think he's done his bit. Everything is the same.
Hopefully he doesn't show up in Solo, a Star Wars story.
He'll be like one of the Jabba, he'll be like a Jabba the Hutt or something.
Okay, but
Are you trying to say Jar Jar Binks?
No.
Adam Sandler as Jabba the Hutt.
Well, no, he would be part of the Hutt family.
He would be Huttese.
Or another cousin that nobody cares about. Or
Let's just keep him safely out of the Star Wars realm.
Disney, I want him in the movie.
Can he be in the Yoda film?
I would literally punch you in your balls, Josh.
I don't know.
Do not even put that in the universe.
It's out there now. It's floating around in Disney's head.
Nope, I caught it.
No, but let's be honest. He never sold his soul to Disney. No, that would be Tim Allen. Tim Allen is going to be in Yoda, a Star Wars story. So,
what is he going to be?
Doesn't matter.
Better not be Yoda.
Disney owns him. So
he's already Santa Claus.
Going to be Buzz Lightyear, clearly.
Yeah,
I would hate everything after that moment if I saw that.
I am surprised that since purchasing the franchise, Disney hasn't tried to include small cameos of some of their, cosmic properties in the Star Wars films. Maybe a ship that looks like Buzz Lightyear's ship.
I think that they know not to do that.
Yeah. I don't think
mess with it.
You can do it in Pixar,
I don't think it would be bad.
but
E.T. was in Phantom Menace.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't want them to do that with Star Wars, though.
I'm okay with that.
But that was Lucas's thing, though, too. And Spielberg, they were like,
I don't know.
This.
I think it could work.
No.
Again, it's going to be a throwaway thing like in Rogue One where you see the ghost just kind of in the background.
No, but it's different then. Like with Pixar, all the movies, when they do cameos, it makes more sense because it's Pixar. Right. You can't do that with Star Wars.
If you
and another
Pixar
universe
theory.
In a galaxy far, far away, you guys. They don't know about Disney.
Buzz can't make it that far.
He is made of plastic. Plastic will be around
He will
forever.
die.
He is a fictional character. That's the entire point of those movies.
No, I would be mad if I saw Buzz Lightyear's ship. You see the Falcon flying through, and then all of a sudden you see a little Lightyear ship right there. I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what is it doing?
So when you go see Solo, you're going to want to blink at 22 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, sure. I don't believe you, Josh. They would not do this.
But my point, the reason that I have mixed feelings about it is that I really like Han Solo. I like meeting him in
A New Hope.
In A New Hope, yeah. I like his story. I mean, obviously I have issues with the whole new Star Wars canon thing anyhow.
I know that you really miss Mara Jade.
I do. I miss Mara Jade, and I miss, Chewbacca's got a backstory, you guys, and...
Yes.
Chewbacca does. It doesn't look...
In the Star Wars Christmas special.
You only learn about it then. And in Rebels, but... You get to meet Chewie. Meet baby Chewie. You meet him as a youngling in Rebels.
Rebels is not set that far in advance of A New Hope. He wouldn't, be a youngling.
No, but Ezra ends up saving Chewie at one point when the Wookiee planet is taken over by the Empire.
Right, but again, Rebels takes place...
No, you're right, it's not.
But
it's not that far off.
Yeah, it takes place
Chewie has a wife
Solo.
and a family.
What?
Chewie has a wife and a family in the original canon. But he owes a life debt to Han. Yeah.
I want to know, why does he owe him a life debt, though?
Because he saved his life.
Han
saved
I got that,
life.
but what did he do?
I'm not that into...
I feel like you would have... If I'm going to give you a life debt, you would have to have done something that's extraordinary.
But it's part of the culture. They have
culture.
the whole
Yeah, I know, I got
culture.
that part.
It's Bushido code.
I got it. I don't know what you just said, but okay, I got it.
I don't know. Maybe one of our listeners can tell us what.
Yeah, because we don't have
What
any
Han
sort
did.
of devices around that would tell us why Chewie follows Han Solo around.
The future just hasn't, we haven't caught up with the
I
future.
guess we could
you know?
do research.
No, they don't exist. We obviously don't have the means right now.
Yeah, I just remembered what the actor who plays Han Solo's name is out of the blue. I don't have a ton to say about this. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good popcorn flick, but I don't think it's going to give us any groundbreaking revelations about Han Solo.
No, I don't know if it will give us any. I think it's nice to get a story of him, and it gives more of an in-depth detail of why you love this character if they do it right, and why you fell in love with him in the first place.
I don't know.
But I'm worried because of how early it is. Usually you get one at the beginning and one at the end of the year. This is like right after the other one, like number 8, and I don't know. They usually take a year to do each film, it takes...
I think from the original movies, we get enough details about who Han Solo was before that I don't know if I'm going to appreciate this because I don't think it's going to match up with who I thought he was.
No,
Whereas,
that's true.
I would be okay if they did, a Princess Leia younger movie because we don't know anything about her past. I mean, there is a book out by, I want to say Claudia Gray.
Yeah, Claudia...
I'm not sure. I know she's written a Star Wars movie. There's a lot of young adult.
In fact, out of the Star Wars books for the new canon, and I do appreciate Disney making it much easier to jump in to the canon because with all the role playing games and stuff from the old EU, it just became so hard and there was overlapping information.
Yeah. Well, there's so many books.
So now it's in order. It's easier to follow through.
Yes, because Disney is very controlling about what gets put out there.
Okay.
So Disney is controlling the overall storyline.
Exactly. So
even in the books.
This author this author A can't release a book, and then author B releases a book licensing the same characters and having them do something completely different at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. That's a good thing.
Yeah. I do like that amount of control. But Claudia Gray is fantastic. She did Lost Stars, and then she did, was it Bloodlines? Where it's not young Leia, but it's Leia forming the resistance that we meet in episode 7.
Maybe that's what I'm talking about.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I haven't read these yet.
The end of her career as a politician and then going
into a general role.
And becoming a general. Right. And that book, one of the best young adult novels I've read in a long time. So
okay, well, I guess we'll know when it comes out.
Yeah,
I just feel like
there's not a ton to say about it. I feel like with what Disney wants to do with the Star Wars universe, the TV projects that they're planning, the animated series that have yet to come, Solo would have been a better serialized concept than a movie, I think. Like
a TV series, a couple of seasons, from beginning to end, where he was a boy.
No, I could just see, us meeting him, wherever they pick him up in the movie. He mentions that he, flunked out of flight school. I'm guessing that's Imperial Flight School. Pick it up there, and then show us, how he becomes the smuggling scoundrel that we meet.
But I want to know, even before then,
I
feel like I would have the same feelings about that, where I just don't want...
I would need to know his character from the beginning.
I would too, but I feel like in doing it in movie form, if they screw this up, they screw this up. Doing it in a TV series, if you screw it up, you can always...
not watch it.
No, you just have more time to fix it.
I guess that's true,
I don't agree with that. No, I don't think you would ruin it, because no matter how many Star Wars movies they release, no matter how many characters they decide to put in or redo or whatever, everybody's going to go back to I'm assuming a majority of the fans are going to go back to the first 3.
Yeah, there's not that many things where I'm like, no, don't mess with this. I mean, honestly, I love adaptations. I love reboots of stuff. But Han Solo.
No, I get it. And I don't think they would risk this one.
I don't think it's a story that needed to be told.
Yeah.
I won't say that.
I would like to see some more, pre-episode 1 stuff. Give me a Qui-Gon story. Give me a Yoda story. Give me a Mace Windu
see,
story.
I get that.
Or a full movie about Lando. I'd be okay with that, and not just for Donald Glover. Like,
I feel like I agree with you, Josh. I think they should have picked a different character to go with off. Like, they should have done like Qui-Gon or.
It doesn't even have to be a
Qui-Gon
Jedi. It could be anything. Hell, at this point, I'd settle for a movie about Endor after the Empire fell, okay? Give me more Ewoks.
I would always take more Ewoks, also.
They're so yummy and cuddly. You're younger than us, Nemo. You should love Ewoks, too. There's that line.
No. I think they should have done either like Mace, Qui-Gon, or Yoda. A main character. What I wanted more than that was Kenobi. I really would have loved his movie more than anything.
The Kenobi storyline between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy. There is a lot of
interesting.
A lot of standing around waiting in the sand. But there are things
that doing in
a lot of
that
hanging
sand?
His head, like bemoaning the fact that he lost his student.
but a lot of it's been explored where he's communing with Qui-Gon and Yoda and becoming more one with the Force.
Mm-hmm.
A la Luke in Episode 9. I think what we get to see of Luke in Episode 9, his entire story arc in that film, that's basically what Obi-Wan was doing.
Yeah. He pulled a Kenobi. No, you don't do that.
He just wasn't looking over anybody. Just drinking delicious green milk from the tit of a space walrus.
Yeah, Yeah.
There's no way around that.
His Mark Hamill's a comedic genius. I just got the look on his face when he has that green milk dribbling down his beard.
It's just... And it's delicious.
Say what you want about comedy in a Star Wars movie. I hope that, at the very least, Solo doesn't turn out to just be blasters.
I want it to be about fighting. I want him to be flying. I want him to reach
I want there to be a reason to watch it. If I wanted to watch an action movie, I'd watch Die Hard. But no. I don't want this to just be a cheap popcorn flick. Give me some heart. Give me some comedy. I know Solo that Han can fly. I know that he can fight. Give me a reason to watch this.
There is a reason, and his name is Donald Glover.
I could not tell you a single movie he's ever been in before
Community, this. Only thing I knew of him from his Community and Atlanta. Those two TV series.
He was on Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was.
Homecoming.
Yeah, he was a bad guy.
It's true. He wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah, he was. That's why he had to get interrogated.
Interrogated?
Interrogated.
It's where they make you cry while telling them things. Okay, so final thoughts on Solo.
I feel like it's a must-watch if you're a Star Wars fan. Yeah, if you're a Star Wars fan, I think you should go see it either way. But like Josh said, it could be just a good popcorn flick if you just want to go see a movie. But as a Star Wars fan, I'm going to go see it either way. I have to know what they did.
I'm going to go see it, but
I can judge later, but I have to enjoy it.
I will go with you guys to see this when it comes out. Like, we'll go after work in the morning when we get off. I don't expect anything. I'd be just fine waiting for this one to come out on Netflix.
I hope it brings back like the whole childhood of where you want to like be that character, you know? Like, I hope it brings that nostalgia back a little bit.
Okay. So you speak of your childhood. If there is a Han Solo role-playing kit that gets released, the toy store,
we will buy it.
Okay.
And then we'll wear it.
Yes, that's what I want. I want Nemo to walk around with a really cheap-looking Han Solo costume.
You've got a scruffy nerf herder kind of thing going on today, so.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
I'm basically Han Solo.
It's Easter weekend, and it's Whiskey Saturday, so...
Don't take this away from me, Josh.
I'm not.
I don't know, I feel like you are.
I'm trying to defend your scruffy nerf herderness.
Yeah,
I didn't say it was bad.
I think you are adorable,
sweetheart. I just talked about how attracted I was to Han Solo, so...
Okay, Lisa. Whoa.
Okay, no.
I'm not going to ship you and Nemo. That would just be weird.
That would be weird.
Is that the first time you've ever had a drink from a straw?
No, it's...
Okay.
No, I love drinking with straws, but you know what? Let's just go to the next one. Okay, guys, so the next movie that we're all hyped up for is obviously Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Everybody who's been a Pixar fan from the beginning has been waiting for this movie.
Yeah.
It has been so long since the first one came out, at least for me, like, what was it, 2003, 2004?
Something like that.
So, you know, I've mentioned before I grew up overseas. You know, I went to high school in Italy, and I just remember seeing Gli Incredibili everywhere. Just in little, like, chocolate eggs, like Kinder eggs, like in the stores everywhere. It was such a big deal there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I don't remember seeing any of that. I just knew that Pixar had such a high turnout rate. Like, every movie that they did was really good. The first one I saw, Monsters, Inc., I knew from that movie and on, it was going to be good. I knew that they were going to put effort into the movie itself. And the story was going to be good, and it's going to be worth the watch.
And see, coming off of Finding Nemo, which is a good film, don't get me wrong, but my friends from high school watched that movie a lot. It became a huge deal, and I got so tired of it.
No, I love that movie too.
Your nickname is Nemo.
No, but before that, like that, the character itself, like going and the struggle and just trying to find his son.
The first time that I saw that movie, I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
but that became the only movie they ever wanted to watch.
I'm gonna.
No, it does.
I'm gonna say, like, my roommate, in college, my freshman year, she watched the movie. She watched Finding Nemo every day for like 3.5 months straight.
It's like having a 3-year-old.
Okay.
I know. It's basically,
Then
I know
that
every
makes
single
sense.
word.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
But that being said, I still love that movie.
I can still...
I am so impressed by that.
I will watch it with my kids, but it is never going to be a movie for me that I go out and just like, you know what, let's watch Finding Nemo today.
No, I can do that.
I don't do that with any movies anymore lately, almost at all, that I've seen before. I'm always looking for something that, because I have so little time to watch movies, that I'm always like, what have I not seen yet that I've really been wanting to?
No, like, I get that same feeling too, but I don't know, like, I guess I just love the movie itself, like, the vibe that I get from it, and I just want to watch it again. Like, the same thing, I was super hyped when they announced Dory. I was like, are they going to be able to top this? Because this, at the time, it was the #1 grossing movie for Pixar.
Right.
It had the most money.
Yeah.
And Dory was, no offense to anybody who loves it, a letdown for me.
Really?
It was a huge letdown.
Yeah.
It felt like one of those movies that should just be on Netflix.
It felt like a 90s Disney sequel. Like,
I feel differently.
Aladdin 2, The Return of Jafar.
No, they did not put
freaking
enough.
love the Aladdin movies. So
I'm not,
The first one was good.
I'm not
the
trying
first
to
one was awesome.
down those movies. I loved them too. But
I don't even think I've
Dory
seen the second
didn't
one.
deserve a theatrical release.
No.
I disagree.
No, I
thought
think she
it was
deserved
fantastic.
a story, but the way they did it, the way they played it out, I didn't like that.
It was all about love, you guys.
No. I didn't like how they portrayed it and how they were trying to tie everything in with... She wasn't the main character. It didn't even feel like she was, in a sense, sometimes.
We have a special guest. This is Heather.
I was going to say, Wifey's going to interrupt and agree with Lisa on this one. I loved it. I felt like Dory was very well represented, but...
It made my heart happy, you guys.
And I waited forever for that movie.
I did too. I wanted that movie. I just didn't... Maybe because I put up so much hype that I didn't like it. Like, I just was expecting so much.
Yeah, I guess.
And it came out to be a letdown.
I don't have that kind of worry for Incredibles 2.
Oh, I don't...
And
if they're
especially after the trailer.
Yeah.
The way they starting it out from where they ended off, perfectly done. Like, I feel like that's how you should do the sequel.
John Allen agrees.
Thank you, John.
In addition to Heather, the wifey, my son is now with us for a moment, so...
You're going to hear him.
We're not going to stop recording. We're just going to let you hear Coos and Cos.
He's pretty cute, so...
his opinions matter as well. So
That's right.
if anybody, if you're gonna take anything from any of us, it should be him.
He is the smartest one in the room right now.
He is the future, literally.
We are the world. We are the future.
Yeah.
Feel free to stop me, guys.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
want
gonna
you to
say, like,
interrupt me. I'm gonna sing a lot
So-
during the filming of this recording of this
I
podcast.
feel like I know the songs, but then I don't know the words. Okay.
You don't have to sing along with him.
I feel like I should at least hum. We're a team.
We're a power
Yeah.
couple.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I
So,
guess John
but-
Allen doesn't agree. We're not a team.
But I agree that the trailer, it just automatically, oh, these characters are here. They're right. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
And
I'm so excited.
I feel like, that first movie, watching, Mr. Incredible struggle with living the ordinary life and wanting to be a hero again.
Yeah.
And then from the trailers, you see
It's his
that
wife,
it's
his son.
it's his wife who, well, not that, is struggling, but that gets the opportunity
Yeah.
to be a
Yeah.
hero again, and he's left at home taking care of the kids.
It
Well,
wouldn't be
but-
fair either way. Like, if you were to ask her to be like, hey, I want to do this, I would, if I was her, I'd be pretty pissed. Like, no, you already had your chance, and you didn't tell me about it. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's her chance.
No,
well-
I'm glad that it's a novel way of doing things. It's
Yeah.
a classic formula that's been done like 1,000 times. But it's really nice to see it in the movie where, he's playing Mr. Mom, he's got the kids, and I like that they're exploring the baby, Jack Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Jack Jack in the trailer. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, wake up, Dad, you're sleeping. Oh, dude, if John Allen did that to me, I would probably end up like popping awake and throwing him across the room. Like, I hope that never happens.
I feel like you just look at him and it's like, no. Pop, pop, pop.
Just tap him back. Yeah.
But the thing that I really love about the trailer is that, like, he's so clearly, he's not upset about doing the dad role this time. He's
No.
trying really hard to do it for her because he really wants to support her.
Well, it's
And I
not
love
even
that.
It's not altruistic. He's not being giving of himself because he's like, good for her, I want her to succeed. When he's talking to Frozone, he's like, I have to be there for her. I have to succeed at this
Yeah.
so she can succeed at that so we can be heroes again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he's doing it. It's nice to see that it isn't altruistic. Disney, Pixar, it's always happy, happy, happy. Everyone's eventually going to be selfless and blah, blah, blah.
Well, I didn't even mean it that way, but it is that it's a struggle that I like it. I mean,
You're happy for
What
the
I-
character doing what he's doing.
what I liked so much about
Yes.
the first movie is that they have that whole thing where, like, she's worried that he's cheating on her, maybe. It feels like a marriage.
Yes, they're
Yeah,
real. The
okay.
characters feel like they're more fleshed out.
So the
Yeah.
fact is that you can actually relate to an animation instead of it having to be like real life people. The fact that the animation is connecting on
Yeah.
a real life point.
Yeah, in so much of the animated world, like, you have a hero. They're just a hero.
Mhm.
They only exhibit attributes that a hero has. You don't get a person. If you have a character who plays a mom, they usually just play a mom. And
Yeah.
they take on those stereotypical mom roles and mom duties. But here, with The Incredibles, Pixar was able to flesh out the characters and their personalities in a superhero film.
And that's good. I like having different tones.
And
Yeah.
they did it, going back to our first pick, they did it before Marvel did. They
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
it before Chris Nolan did with Batman Begins. I think that if we're looking at the advent of a modern superhero movie, X-Men notwithstanding, this is where it begins. This is where you see a superhero get fleshed out beyond the cape.
I think that's true.
Like you see the beyond, like you see their other side of them, the true side. And that the
Exactly.
superhero is just an added part.
I think that, going back 30 years almost to 89, Batman did a decent job of trying to give Bruce Wayne a personality and a life. They fail miserably with it, okay, but they tried. But because they weren't able to succeed there, I feel like all of the other superhero movies up until the first Incredibles film, just didn't try.
I'm going to make an argument, though, that the Christopher Reeve Superman movies definitely were more human.
I feel
compared to the Batman movies.
Yeah.
I feel like with every superhero movie, you already know what their emotions are, what they're feeling, and what they're going to do. Whereas with the Incredibles, because of the fact that they're a family, it gives a whole different idea. It's like, when you have a kid, you can't think a certain way. When you're really in love with the person next to you both were heroes. You can't think the same way.
Yeah.
And you have to work together differently.
Yeah, because of the fact that you share so much.
Yeah.
And that's what made the first one so good.
Yes.
And then when you get the kids and having their powers and how they all have to work with each other because they were a family first before they were superheroes.
Well, like that part in the first movie where the mom realizes that she's been holding the son back so much because they've been in hiding.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, no, you can go now. Just do the best that you can right now.
Run. No, too fast. No, too slow. Like,
but
finding that happy medium.
Yeah.
And allowing your kid to...
No, but I mean, when they're fighting together, though, she realizes, like, oh, he has this talent. He needs to know how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just connect much easier with these characters. It makes you think a little bit,
Yeah.
At least, I know that it's still an animation, it's a cartoon, it's Pixar, but if I see Superman, if I see Batman, if I see Green Lantern, or if I see any Marvel character, I know what they're gonna do, in a sense,
Yes and no.
I feel like I know how Tony Stark's gonna act. Right? I know how Spider-Man's gonna act. I know what Superman's gonna do, and I know what Batman's gonna do. Whereas with with the Incredibles, you get the same powers and stuff that you've already seen, but the way they wrote it,
they don't follow the
norm.
They don't toe the line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They let you think about yourself. Like, the fact that it's a family, they put that first. It's not a superhero movie. It's a family movie first.
Yeah.
And that's what draws you to it.
And I think, as a collective, I don't want to say society, but I think we've come to the point where a movie like this isn't going to be as underappreciated as it was, 14 years ago, 15 years ago when the first one came out. Because as big of a deal as it was with kids, they put money behind that movie and the promotion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not seeing that with this one. This one is selling itself on it being a sequel a little bit.
Yeah.
But
the nostalgia's there. Like, the fact that it was...
Exactly. And I think they're just going off of word of mouth. I have not seen endless promos for this movie.
That's true. I've only seen the first trailer was the one that you just showed me.
Yeah.
And I don't think it needs it, really, to be honest, because I'm going to see it.
No,
guaranteed.
like, when people saw the poster, people were seeing it, they saw the two eyes, it was like, no.
Yeah.
Is it here?
Are they actually going to do this?
And that brought it up. It's like...
Dude, when, the Bay Transformers came out, the first time I heard about it, I was going to see Superman Returns. It was the first time I'd ever gone to the movies after drinking a little bit before. So I freaked out, like, wait, is this a thing? Is this here now? Can I watch it today? And I asked the girl who was taking our tickets, and she said no.
No, there was a huge hype for that too.
But then I said, when it comes out, will you go with me?
Very smooth.
Right? I was smooth when I was younger. I was not smooth when I was younger. But then when we went and saw Pirates of the Caribbean a few months later, she was dressed up like a pirate.
Nice.
And we were in not the front, but we were in the front of the upper section of the stadium seating. Mm-hmm. And she walked over to me and said, "Don't forget, we have a date."
Aww.
It was adorable. And Josh was stupid. And...
Forgot?
No, didn't, have a number or a name, even.
Oh buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
I was super smooth with women. But that is a story for another episode.
Yeah. Oh.
Can't relate.
You doing okay? You look really tired. Yeah, I thought that was a compliment once. Thought I was being caring. But anyway.
But yeah, no, honestly, it's gonna sound corny, but this is one of my favorite fictional marriages, period.
Yeah, no, you're right. It does feel like a real family, like the way you were describing the things that a marriage couple thinks about. Certain things that happen, it's depicted really well in this movie. I don't know. I'm hyped for it either way.
Yeah.
But again, if I don't want this to be a Dory. I do not want that to happen.
And here's the thing, is as much as Incredibles was hyped, it never hit the level of Finding Nemo. You didn't have people become absolutely obsessed with this. You didn't see the merchandise everywhere for years afterwards. It had its time in the spotlight, and then it kind of faded into the background. It had its fans, people loved it, people watched it, but it was never always at the forefront of the cultural psyche.
I'm going to say it's probably my favorite Pixar movie, though.
Not mine.
Personally.
It's not mine. I would have to go with WALL-E and Monsters, Inc.
Okay, well,
those two are my favorite ones.
I was gonna say,
and Bug's Life, that was a great one,
I was going to say WALL-E and Up.
Oh, Up is good, too.
I just like to be sad.
Yeah, no, I'm going to stick to Incredibles. I think it's my favorite.
No, there's a lot of good ones.
I don't know. I think depending on how this movie is, I may have to reevaluate the first movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because especially where this one picks up the second, the Underminer pops up at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
And the family, it jumps right back into action. So it's going to be fun.
I don't know, I'm going to base this on the fact, after Disney acquired Pixar and everything, right? I think they acquired it after Incredibles and Nemo and all of that came out. So to me, it's going to be, if it isn't as well as I am anticipating it to be, I'm going to assume Disney had something to do with this. And the Pixar writers and creators were put on a leash or something. I don't know.
I don't want to ever think of the Disney as the D word. People throw it around for being a bad thing. Disney has a history that goes back, since before our parents were born.
Yeah, but things change, people get replaced.
Oh,
and
I understand.
Views change.
You can look at the Eisner era of Disney and say, well, this is where things started to turn and go in the direction they are today. And I don't think that. I think that they kept up with the time.
No, I'm basing this off with Studio Ghibli, right? They make great movies.
Okay. Of which you've seen two.
Yeah,
but I have seen one.
No.
And Lisa,
but the studio itself, it's very hard to get into. You have to make certain parameters. They need to know that the story comes first before anything else, before you even get through the door. Pixar used to be like that. Before before Disney acquired them, there was a huge, rigorous program to get into Pixar. It was really, really hard.
Still is.
Well, I understand that, but I feel like once the core is taken away, because once Disney takes it over, its values stand first. If it likes what you're doing, it will let you maybe keep them. But their their ideas come first. And that can eliminate a lot of the core things that set up all these great movies.
It's true. That's the issue that I
have.
That's
my problem. That's what I'm hoping to not see. I want it to be Pixar from its heart, from its core. Yeah. They did well. That's what I fell in love with as a kid. When I saw Monsters, Inc., when I saw Bug's Life, when I saw all of these movies, that's why I connected, because they had these values, and those marks had to be hit first before anything else was even put on a piece of paper.
Right.
And that's, I guess, I don't know.
No, that's perfectly fair. That's a good way of looking at it.
That was maybe the most impassioned speech I've ever seen you give, by the way.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the most articulate speech you've ever given.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like
good job,
Peter Dinklage would be proud.
Thank you, Peter Dinklage.
All right, so there are so many good movies coming out this summer. We don't have time to talk about each and every one of them. The one I'm most excited for, we didn't talk about today, and that is Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park is such a big part of my childhood. Ghostbusters is always going to be nearest and dearest to my heart as far as big blockbuster movie franchises. But Jurassic Park is right there too, because dinosaurs, man. Dinosaurs.
You're gonna love dinosaurs, but
the first movie I ever saw when I was a kid was Land Before Time.
Yeah.
It's always been a thing with me.
No, with me, just the idea of how far, like if you're me, an Indian kid watching Bollywood musicals every day, and then seeing it, I didn't even get to watch the first two. I watched the third one first, and you just see it, and you're like, why isn't everybody doing this? And you want to know.
They were. Everyone was doing it. Making movies that weren't Bollywood musicals.
But
the rest of the world.
No, you're just thinking about the possibilities.
Right.
And the fact that they, like, I don't even know if, I know, like, in second grade and whatever, I knew what dinosaurs were and we talked about them, but seeing it on a screen, you're like, what is that?
There's more to movies than love stories with
where did
catchy
these
music.
dinosaurs come from? There's 2 more movies? Why aren't they in the theater right now?
The 3 slash marks at the end of the title didn't give it away that it was the third one.
Dude, I was like a little kid. I was just excited to see a dinosaur.
You were 10.
Was I 10?
Jurassic Park 3 came out in like 2002?
I do not know.
Dude, I don't know either. I just know I was a little kid and I saw it.
I'm not going to look it up because, we don't have technology.
I remember
We're running
walking
too.
I remember watching that movie in the theater and I needed to use the restroom.
Oh, okay.
And instead of going out the right door, I went behind the curtain.
Oh, back when you could actually go behind.
Yeah, that's where I went first. And I was like, this isn't the bathroom. And I walked back.
At least you recognize that.
Didn't pee on the screen.
I was like, well, I gotta go. I was just looking for the...
Nobody's looking, so...
And everybody just sees
right at you.
Yeah.
But then you see the little shadows, like, is there a kid peeing in this movie?
Right in the T-Rex's mouth. R. Kelly was the T-Rex.
That'd be pretty baller, though.
But I feel like I wouldn't, like... Yeah, alright.
Okay. No, but we'll get to it. I think that we're gonna have to do one of these shows every couple months where we talk about upcoming movies.
Yeah.
If that's something you guys want to hear, let us know. If you hated this episode and didn't want to hear about awesome movies, then...
Or at least our opinions on them.
Right.
Then Nemo won't come give you a hug. But
Yeah.
if you liked it,
Hug-less.
Nemo will come give you a hug.
I'm giving you a virtual hug right now.
He's like giving your hugs away. Also.
So let's go ahead, guys. That about does it for summer movies. I know that there are many, many more coming out besides just those 3 in Jurassic World, but we'll be back. I'm definitely going to be picking up the Lego sets for all of the movies we've talked about so far, all 4 of them.
I don't think I will be,
expensive.
but I would love to hear your guys' opinion on them. After watching them, tell us what you guys think.
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook at We Just Nerd Here. We have a WordPress site, wejustnerdhere.wordpress.com, a Facebook page. Go ahead and join that. Follow us. Our friend Haley is going to be kind of the admin for that page and interact with all of you. We will interact with you too, except Nemo, because he doesn't know what social media is still.
I live off the grid.
He doesn't have a computer like Keanu Reeves.
He lives off the grid with a arsenal of Apple products.
We're our own.
They are Apple, they are one. God.
We are not being endorsed by Apple.
This is being recorded on a Surface Pro for some reason.
It's disgusting.
Okay, you guys.
It's not bad.
I told you to use your iPad.
Let's not.
I couldn't afford a MacBook.
You have an iPad Pro. It's the same thing.
Is it?
Yes.
No.
Okay, let's not go into this.
I had to buy more equipment to hook the mic up to the iPad.
You just had to get another dongle.
A dongle and a USB hub.
Okay,
Why did you need a
guys.
USB? Okay, you know what? Let's just...
Okay. The next episode's going to be recorded on the iPad, so let us know what you think about that. Let us know if you notice any difference in the quality of the audio or
Just
editing
shoot us a tweet
or...
that Nemo was right.
Yes, shoot us a tweet.
At
And
We Just Nerd Here.
At We Just Nerd Here. Can be found on Twitter at Joshua Tracy 85.
You can find me at Lisa Asanuma.
And you guys can reach me through these two. I will find out, because they will tell me.
Oh, we will
Yes,
wake you up in
we
the middle
will.
of the night.
And then I'll be like, I was right.
No, you won't.
I'm pretty sure it
I
will.
doubt you'll ever get us
No,
telling
no.
you that.
Josh, just...
That's it for today, guys. We Just Nerd Here, and you do too. See you next time.
Thanks, bye.
Bye.